Are you feeling tired even after sleeping 8 hours? You are not alone. What if I told you it's not your sleep that's broken? In most of the cases, the myths that we believe in make us feel so. In my years of consulting clients, I have seen how sleep anxiety, like stressing over not hitting exactly 8 hours, is actually doing more harm than missing sleep itself. In this video, I'm busting 6 common sleep myths that could be silently affecting your energy, mood, and health. Let's get into it. Hi, this is Dr. Thompson Jones here, a doctor in natural medicine with almost a decade of experience in the luxury wellness hospitality industry. If you're new here, this is a space that I have created to simplify health and wellness. So if that is a topic of your interest, join us on this journey. Sleep is one of the most overlooked parts of our life. We often take it for granted, even though it is one of the most powerful factors that can directly affect our health and overall well-being. You know what? We have all been there. Staying up late for parties and then showing up to work the next day feeling like a zombie, or trying to squeeze out just a little more productivity during the weekdays, thinking we can catch up sleep over the weekend. But does it work that way? Let's get straight into it. In this video, I'm going to bust 6 common sleep myths that is probably holding you back from getting your best rest. Myth number 1. Everyone needs exactly 8 hours of sleep. The famous 8-hour rule is actually a guideline. Sometimes when we try to chase this 8 hours of sleep and not able to achieve it, we often get stressed, which is actually counterproductive. The key thing that we have to understand here is that there are a lot of individual variations. Some of us might need 8 hours of sleep, while others need only 6. There would be another group that would need 10 hours of sleep to feel well rested. What we should strive for is a good, consistent quality of sleep that can help us feel well rested when we wake up. So if you are feeling well rested, refreshed when you wake up, don't worry about the number of hours you slept. When I explained this to one of my clients, she asked me, how do I get to know if I have rested well? Good question, isn't it? To find out the answer, you have to ask a few questions to yourself. Are you able to wake up without using an alarm? Are you usually waking up in a pleasant mood, happy to face the day? Do you feel like you have enough energy so that you don't need a coffee to wake you up? If the answers for the above questions were yes, that generally shows you are waking up well rested. Being on this topic of discussion, an important topic I want to highlight here is about consistency. More than the number of hours of sleep we get, the consistency of sleep is what matters the most. You probably might have heard about something called as a circadian rhythm, which is nothing but our body's biological clock. This biological clock signals our body about what is required at a given time. Consider you are somebody who eats breakfast regularly at 8 a.m. And you might have noticed that around that time of 8 a.m. you are feeling hungry and feel like having a breakfast. Now consider you are somebody who goes to bed regularly at 10 p.m. You might have noticed that around that time you feel sleepy and want to go to bed. This is how the biological clock or the circadian rhythm is helping your body know what is required at a given time. So, if you are someone with a lifestyle that can cause disruptions to this circadian rhythm or the biological clock, probably there is a higher chance that the stress hormone in your body can stay a little elevated. And on a long term, if this continues, it can lead to reduced immunity, which probably leads to different types of chronic lifestyle disorders. So the key takeaway from that was to focus on a consistent, good quality sleep that can help you feel well rested. Do not really worry about the number of hours you slept. Myth number 2, you can catch up on your sleep over the weekend. Many of us try to compensate the late nights during weeks by sleeping more or sleeping extra during the weekends. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Sleep doesn't work like a credit system. While you may temporarily feel better, the sleep debt that you have accumulated over the week cannot be fully repaid in 2 days' time. This can in fact disrupt your biological clock or the circadian rhythm we just spoke about. This disruption to your body clock can lead to something called as a social jet lag, which means you feel like you are in a different time zone when Monday comes around. One important thing that I want to highlight here is that though we all have internal clock, not all our body clocks are set or designed in the same way. You might have heard about people saying, "Oh, I am a night owl," or "I am a morning bird." Personally, I am a night owl because I feel more productive during the late hours of the day. So based on what hours of the day you feel more productive, is it late night or early morning, we categorize people accordingly. Scientifically, this is termed as chronotype. So if you are a person who is feeling more productive during the late hours of the day, you are termed as evening chronotype. And if you are a person who feels more productive in the early hours of the day, you are having a morning chronotype. Now, if you think that you are an evening chronotype person and ask me, will it stay the same throughout my life? Probably not. Studies say that as we age, our chronotype also tend to change. You might have noticed kids are generally more active towards the later part of the day, and they find it difficult to wake up early in the morning. You might have also noticed elderly people are more productive and they usually start their day early in the morning. And studies say the same as well. As we age, we are more inclined to become a morning chronotype person. So the key takeaway here is that to keep a consistent sleep and wake up routine, regardless of a weekday or a weekend, your body really loves routine. Myth number 3. Drinking alcohol helps you sleep better. Here I know many of you wouldn't be happy with me while discussing this topic. Very commonly I have seen people saying, taking a bit of alcohol helps me sleep better. But the thing that we have to understand here is that sleep is an active process. It is not an inactive process. As sleep is an active process, we need our brain to stay active during sleep as well. When we go to sleep after taking alcohol, we are basically knocking our brain off. Your brain goes through different sleep cycles, moving between different stages, also called as REM and NREM, which can be abbreviated as rapid eye movement and non-rapid eye movement. So in a good night's sleep, you are expected to have 5 to 6 cycles of this REM and NREM stages of sleep. And if you are not able to get this 5 to 6 cycles of sleep, you probably wouldn't feel much refreshed when you wake up. In order to get this 5 to 6 active sleep cycles and feel refreshed when you wake up, your brain should stay active, which wouldn't be possible if you are going to bed after getting drunk. Consuming alcohol before you go to bed reduces your REM sleep and fragments your sleep architecture. Instead of your brain moving through these beautiful stages, it's more like being forced into a shallow and disconnected sleep. That's why even if you sleep for 7 or 8 hours after drinking, you can still wake up feeling tired, sluggish, or even with a headache. You don't actually get the kind of deep, restorative sleep your body and brain needed. So, the key takeaway here is, alcohol is not helping you to sleep better. Sleep is an active process that needs a beautiful rhythmic cycle of different sleep stages. Alcohol is just knocking your brain off. Myth number 4. Using your phone before bed is harmless. Exposure to blue light can impact the quality of your sleep. This is actually a very hotly debated topic. There are numerous studies that have concluded the bad impacts of blue lights before sleep. These studies suggest that exposure to blue light before sleep can suppress the production of melatonin in your body. Melatonin is the hormone that lets your body know that it's time to sleep. So a suppression in melatonin in your body can, of course, impact your sleep quality. However, there are also studies saying that the impact of blue light before sleep on our sleep quality is not really significant. And of course, I have also come across arguments saying that these days we have got all these warm modes and night modes on our screens, which can actually help to prevent the blue light exposure. So they argue that when you use these modes, it helps to prevent the exposure to blue light and the sleep quality will not be affected. Regardless of any studies that is conducted, my very personal take on this is to avoid any screen exposures before 30 to 60 minutes of your sleep. Maybe you can surpass or get rid of all these blue light emissions by using a warm tone or a night mode, but your mental stimulation is actually real. When you are getting exposed, when you are looking into these screens, your mind is staying active. It is actually continuously giving signals to your brain that it is not yet time to fall asleep. And even though you are falling asleep, you are sleeping with an active mind. This can affect the quality of your sleep. Now, if you ask me what should I do before I go to bed, my recommendations would be to try maybe some journaling. Gratitude journaling is a very good option. Try meditation or try some calming breathing practices. In one of my videos before, I have discussed about alternate nostril breathing and its benefits on our health. If you're interested, go watch that here. So the key takeaway here is to aim for a 30 to 60 minutes of tech-free wind-down period before you get to bed. Having a good sleep hygiene is definitely beneficial on a long term. Myth number 5. Lying in bed awake will eventually help you fall asleep. Staying on a bed while you're feeling anxious or disturbed will not really help us. Studies show that by doing this, we are actually training our brain to associate the bed with wakefulness and frustration. Over time, this can help to create a negative sleep pattern. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine and also the National Sleep Foundation, both of them say that if you are not able to feel asleep, even after staying on a bed for more than 20 to 30 minutes, better get off the bed, go to another quiet room with some dim light and do something that is more relaxing for you. Then get back to bed when you feel like you are sleepy. My recommendation here would be to have some good pre-sleep rituals before you get to bed. We have already mentioned few things such as practicing gratitude journaling, breathing exercises, simple meditation, or even listening to some calming music are good pre-sleep practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. So, the key takeaway here is that your bed should be a cue for sleep, not a place for tossing, turning, and worrying. Just because you are getting off the bed for not getting sleep means a failure. It is the best and the fastest way to reset your sleep pattern. Myth number 6. Snoring is harmless. Occasional light snoring is common and is usually harmless. Most of the people snore when they are in a very deep sleep or sleeping in an awkward position. However, consistent loud snoring can be a red flag. This might indicate something called as OSA or obstructive sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea is a condition where your airways get partially or fully blocked during sleep. This causes the breathing to stop for a few seconds or even minutes. OSA can cause breathing interruptions during sleep, leading to poor oxygen supply, daytime fatigue, high blood pressure, and even heart disease if untreated. Some of the things that you can do to improve loud snoring or obstructive sleep apnea is weight loss or sleeping on your sides than on your back, avoiding alcohol or any other sedatives, quitting smoking, or treating nasal congestion. So the key takeaway here is that if you are having regular loud snoring accompanied by daytime fatigue, it's time to see a doctor. Don't just laugh it off. Your body is asking for help. So, sleep is one of the best tools that we have for our well-being. However, there are a lot of misinformations out there regarding sleep. I hope this video helped you to burst some of those myths and some of those misinformations that you are having regarding sleep. So if you are believing any of the myths that we just discussed, do let me know in the comment section. If you liked the video and found value from it, give it a like so that it helps the YouTube algorithm to make it reach to a wider audience. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.